Hello and welcome to a special episode of Insert Coin. I'm Tim.
And I'm Chris.
And today we're playing Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, episode 4.
Now, we've just broken out of prison. I say broken out of prison. The doors were left open in a creepy fashion.
Yeah, and the guard was dead.
And there's blood everywhere. And that's where Jenova was kept. Or at least Jenova's body with no head. I lose track of what parts of Jenova are in different places.
It was her body, her boobs, no head.
No head. So where's Jenova's head at this stage in the game? I don't know. I think you find out in a flashback what happened to her head. So there you go.
Come out and...
I think the idea of Jenova is that it's all, if you cut a part of Jenova off, it stays alive and grows a bit like a worm. If you've got a worm in half, it grows into two worms, sort of thing. I think Jenova is meant to be a bit like that, so you can cut part of Jenova off, and that part will be alive still, which is why you fight different forms of Jenova throughout the game.
Yeah, but they seem to be like massive though. Like, do they grow in size, like multiply into like huge?
Yeah, I guess so. So if you cut off its arm will then replicate the rest of its body, and then the body with no arm will just grow an arm. You can see like blood all the way around here. Someone's been like dragging Jenova through the building, I guess.
Yeah, we come out on red 13. It's like already there. Like, Nanaki, did you do this?
I find that racist.
No.
Or speciesist, I suppose. Oh yeah, everyone assumes the savage jungle cat dog thing killed everyone. Well, excuse me.
I did find it in a lab.
See, we could have gone up the stairs without the blood on, but we chose to go up the stairs with all the blood. Follow the blood. And then there's no blood on the stairs from here. Someone cleaned it since the fade to black. So I don't know why the sword's left in his back.
Yeah, surely. Can we keep
someone?
the sword?
No, but did someone come back and take the sword again later?
Sephiroth's. It's alive.
Sephiroth's alive.
Gordon, Sephiroth's alive.
And with the naming conventions and stuff, obviously we played around with them a bit. And there's a guy I know who played it once who said that he renamed all the characters, him, us, and that guy, and things like that. So then when they're assigning all the materials, like, oh, give the fire material to him, and if you give lightning to us, and then cure to that guy. And then that's how they decided how to do everything. We'd call somebody we. So we have that materia, they have that materia, that guy has that materia, and him has this materia. Give that to him.
That gave me a worse headache than just naming the characters, switching them around like we did.
So essentially Shinra want to find this promised land, which they think the Cetra have got confined, and Tifa's the only surviving Cetra, or ancient. And then obviously just Sephiroth just turned up, hasn't he? And I guess he wants to find the promised land as well, doesn't he? Oh, Rufus!
Palmer, what the hell are you doing? I told you about running around the side of the building.
Okay.
Take the sword.
Or just run around the pole. What are you doing? This is our first encounter with Rufus, isn't it? No one's ever seen him cry.
What?
Yeah, that's what Tifa just said. No one's ever seen him cry. And then Darlene said that he's been assigned somewhere else for a long time. So I guess he was assigned in Junior or something, I guess.
Yeah.
Location. It's not you can't pick up the sword. That would be awesome. Pick up the sword. It's nice to have a dramatic scene on a rooftop. End it on the rooftop.
But I think if you met Sephiroth with the sword, he'll probably just be like Thor and just pull it back to him. Like, oh, thanks.
Yeah. If you got up there and met Sephiroth at this stage of the game, he would just own you. He was like, dead. See, I don't like this bit. It says, I'm from Avalanche, and she's from Avalanche, and then she's a flower girl from the slums, and then he's research specimen. But it would have been better. It's like, who are you people? We're Avalanche.
Yeah.
Stay united as a group. Just call yourselves Avalanche. And like, oh, we're Avalanche plus some other people that we found. So I don't know, just call yourselves Avalanche. Be united as a team.
Yeah, team would be like, I'm a flat. And Barrett's gun arm is like, no, shut up. We're Avalanche.
I suppose you never actually get in any battles with like President Shinra, do you? It's all. I like how they did this. 'Cause it's all set up to be like President Shinra is going to be one of the main bad guys in it.
Yeah.
Because you have that brief encounter with him in the second reactor mission, don't you? When he sets the other robot thing against you.
Yeah,
and then he gets captured while he's in his office and stuff. And then all of a sudden he's dead, and a new character turns up who replaces him as president. It's like, okay. So he's not the main bad guy of Shinra.
Yeah. When I was playing this, I was like, could this guy be worse than the president of Shinra?
Well, yeah, he's just saying he wants to control the world with fear rather than money, so I guess he is worse. I will rule with an iron fist made of gold. Fear and money. If you don't fear me, I pay you to fear me.
I said what? But I'll pay you in gold fists.
I'll pay you in fear and pain. Doing a bit of a mincy pose there, isn't Zach?
Yeah.
He's like, I'll tell you later. A little pose. Alright. Right, off you go, team. Let's take off. He's like, Ares, I'll wait for Zach. Everyone get back to the elevator. So in this bit you can spend some time changing your materia around in different teams. So I'm trying to remember what happens is, like, those three go off on their own, and then Ares goes off to do something else.
Which we don't... Oh, well, she's just waiting for Zack, isn't she?
Yeah, she's like, I'll wait for him. So this is where you can change your equipment to them, because the scene at the top of the roof ends with a battle. So yeah, so Zack's got already our materia, so you can like remove it, and then give all the materia to them. So you remove his materia, and then that allows you to do their materia. Once you've done that, you go off.
Oh,
And prepare for battle. Prepare for battle.
Walls. I love walls so much.
There you go, go through there. Then get to the left. Okay.
I can't remember many times when you actually control Tifa like this.
Just pretty much probably the only time. There's a few points in the game when you control somebody else. Again, now this is what's happening in the meantime. So this is where you can then go to the menu, move your materia around, and sort your materia out for this fight. So I get the impression that this is happening at the same time as the other fight. So this is basically because otherwise it would seem that Zack and Rufus has just been stood on the roof, not saying anything,
Yeah,
for like 20 minutes or something, and it's like
epic staring contest.
so. Let's get on with our fight. Right, what's yours?
Fight in which is in our boss battle playthrough.
Yes,
Do you want to see it?
Yeah, all the boss fights in this have been cut out, so you can watch them at the boss battle playthrough video. So enjoy that. I think I've done it before. We've done the two boss battles, and then walk because you're Zack on his own. You're walking towards that save point. This floor, you can get in random encounters.
Oh.
I think one of the random encounter things has like an instant death or has like a confuse or something, and you can get killed by that if you're on your own.
Oh no.
And then you'd have to do both fights again. Just like, no, two boss fights, you get killed by a random encounter. Son of a bitch. So this is a pretty cool scene. I mean, this whole section of the game is pretty good, like doing the Shinra offices and stuff. Yeah. Like the different floors. Because you've got like different puzzles to solve, different plot developments happen.
Yeah, like mini games. And, like,
Yeah.
throughout all of that in story, you're like popping up with these like guard encounters and random encounters and fights.
I think there's a really good even mixture of puzzles and things to solve, normal fighting, plot development, and then boss fights. It's kind of it's like a really good, like, well balanced section. Now this sequence I think is really cool. I think everyone remembers this bit as being quite a cool moment from the game. I can remember when I first played, I was like, "This is awesome." I think you haven't played this bit before, did you say?
No.
Had you actually got this far when you played it first time?
No, I hadn't.
You hadn't. So how far did you get when you first played it?
I only got to the part where you had to dress up as a woman.
Oh yeah, the wall market. Yeah.
So I had no idea.
So you hadn't actually seen this sequence before?
No, not at all.
Yeah, this is cool. But I think the graphics in this bit for the time were really quite impressive, actually.
Yeah. Because
this was what year was it? Was it 1997? Did it say, or was it 1995? I can't remember what year it actually came out.
I'm going to say 6. And if I'm wrong...
You're like in the middle of the two. Yes. Can't remember, it says it at the beginning of the game, doesn't it? In the title sequence it shows the Final Fantasy logo. In fact, let me have a look.
Yeah, the graphics on this just... And even today's, they look alright. I wouldn't mind watching a film just like as this.
Yeah, it's alright, isn't it? It's pretty good. Maybe not a film, maybe like a Saturday morning cartoon show could get away with that. Or maybe a film. Why not? Why not? We'll let them have a film.
Yes.
And then this bit's really good fun. Awesome action sequence.
This is like a Road Rash on the Sega. You have to kind of like racing motorbikes. You just swing either side of you to get rid of the opposition.
There's quite a few little bits like this in the game, isn't there?
Yeah, like loads of I'll say mini games, not like how the puzzles as a stuff were in the Shinra building.
Yeah, they're kind of like separate. Well, it's a whole different control
they're like
system,
separate games.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the box to see what year it was made. I can't actually see it. It must be on there somewhere. It must be like a... Oh yeah, there you go, 1997. There you go, so it was 1997 it came out. So yeah, so for 1997, the graphics, I think are pretty good. In fact, I've played a few like old PlayStation games recently, and the games I remember looking like quite impressive at the time. When you play them now, and it's just like, oh, they're really bad, like they're really pixely.
Like Crash 1.
Yeah. I mean, Crash 1's alright actually, but it's kind of going for a cartoony look.
Yeah.
Like with this, it's all very like things represent stuff. It's like the characters in the normal game bits are quite blocky, aren't they?
Yeah.
And it's just like the towns and the place in the background's a bit more detailed, but like the in-game items and stuff are very basic shapes.
Yeah, that's true.
But some of the games they're trying to look like people and things. They just look really bad. It's like really rubbish.
It's like they were trying to go for outlines of people more than anything. Like you'll recognise Cloud by his blonde spiky hair, or Barrett by his like giant figure and gun arm. I'm not being racist.
It's a giant figure and gun arm.
Well, I could have said a lot more.
But that's because you weren't being racist. You recognise Red 13 because he's a dirty cat.
Wow, dude.
Damn cats. He's taking jobs from us.
So after I played this, I'm moving the conversation on now.
Okay.
After we played that like mini game, I just wanted to do it again, like and again, and apparently you can do later on in the game,
yes,
which I was
like awesome.
needing to do.
Do we ever actually do that? thing we did, we didn't spend some time just playing the mini games again.
We may have done the snowboarding one again.
Yeah,
I think.
Because I think you can get. When we were looking for GP and stuff, aren't we? In the console, so we're doing that to get some GP.
Yeah.
I don't think the bike game really gave you much GP, so it wasn't really.
Not compared to like
yeah.
other things, like racing and stuff.
So you'll need to stay tuned to see all that, because that's much later in the game. So this is quite a dramatic moment as well. You kind of like you've escaped from the Shinra Tower in this dramatic bike chase.
Boss battle.
Have a big boss battle, and it's like, oh well, what are we going to do now? It's like, well, let's just leave Midgar. I mean, what is it they're actually doing now? They've actually got this research specimen, and I suppose their main objective is to like
find Sephiroth.
I suppose they're trying to get Tifa away from everyone because obviously the Shinra were after Tifa.
Yeah.
I guess like they're going to try and chase after Sephiroth, aren't they, and stop him from getting the Promised Land. But at this point, the others don't really know.
Or would care.
Yeah, what's going on? So then you have to kind of like let everyone else know what happened between Zack and Sephiroth. So Nanaki originally says he's going to go as far as his hometown. So he's just going to be along for the ride. He figures you're going to go past it. So. Again, all these different things you can say to Tifa and Ares will affect what they think of you, and it will affect different conversations later in the game. I think it's very simple the way they've done it in terms of how they've programmed it, but it's stuff like this. They've done simple things like that affect how characters react to things, and that's evolved in other games to be like really significant,
especially
now, isn't it?
Mass Effect and stuff.
Yeah, you can do
like carries over multiple games rather than just like discs.
I really like the mood rings you get. Have you ever played Oblivion? You get like the mood ring things, and you can do like tell a joke, threaten, but they like have a deadpan face. They say one thing to react to it, and then they go back to a deadpan face. Like, ha ha ha, that's funny. Go back to normal. Stop that! You're frightening me. All right, go northeast to a town called Calm. If something happens there, we'll meet up. This is how the game justifies that you split up your party, I guess. This one paragraph is how they justify that the team don't stay together all the time. They're going to split. So you pick who you want your party, and it's like, alright, see you later.
It's too dangerous to walk across fields, so we'll split up.
Huh? I don't know. I mean, it is, like, you know, I said in Final Fantasy VIII, you have the people walk behind you.
Yeah.
So you do actually have like multiple people. In this, they obviously get absorbed into you. Which is a bit weird anyway. You then get where in 10 it's just cutscenes, and in between there's always fade to black in between cutscenes and running.
So, first time on the world map.
Yes, it's the world map. So this is what I was talking about in one of the previous episodes, like scaling. Like that's a tiny town where there Zack's the size of a building. But then you go into the town and then the scaling's like this. So I think a lot of different things are scaled very strangely to kind of represent like towns and stuff.
Yeah, you were saying like the passage of time as well.
Yeah, so that
because like running just to there may have taken months.
I don't know if it would have taken months, but like if you think about it in the terms of span, that was probably like maybe 5 Midgar's worth of distance. So if you imagine how long it takes to run through from one sector to another. Again, when you talk about the sectors, we were thinking them like the shaped like pizza slices, and we're running around near the middle.
Yeah.
So it could maybe take you quite a few hours.
Then if the Shinra building was in the middle, that entire bike chase was getting to the middle to the edge of Midgar.
Yeah, so that bike run took a while, didn't it? That was on a bike, so maybe walking it. So this is a good place to get some extra materia. I mean, I think I've said before in videos, most of the time buying weapons and materia and stuff, I don't bother, because you can get the material elsewhere. In that shop, there is some materia that you can only buy, well, that's the first opportunity to buy it. So that's where you get the earth materia from. I don't think you find any earth materia just lying around, so if you want to get all the materia, buy some earth materia in there. I think this kind of gets to the point where it's worth checking all the shops for good items. And loot! Give me your loot. That's not loot, that's a dog.
Yeah, I'll just let your dog out, old man, sorry. I've not seen you, Billy, for years. It's an old man voice.
If this dog wasn't as comfy, he'd be dead. Long dead.
Perhaps he's reliant on people coming into his house, like feeding his dog for him and then letting him out.
No, we've just gone into his bedroom and stolen ether.
Oh. 2 beds, yeah, only one person downstairs.
And there's no... Is there a kitchen? Where does he cook his food?
Yeah, there's like a
So
side
he's
and
got
a stove over there,
okay,
maybe.
looks like it. So he's got a little lounge and then a bedroom. Pretty small house. Maybe it looks like Calm's a nicer place to live than Midgard, though, isn't it? But there's literally like 4 houses there and a couple of shops. And there's no restaurants or supermarkets or anything. There's a materia shop and a weapon shop, but there's no schools or hospitals. Ooh, a peacemaker. It's a type of gun. It's weird, actually. I think the peacemaker is for a character that you haven't got in your party yet it allows you to pick it up. Oh. And in the Shinra mansion, you get the not Shinra mansion, the Shinra obviously the tower. There's a megaphone. It's like, well, no use for this, and you put it back. I suppose you would think there'd be a use for a gun, but no use for a megaphone.
True.
Because having a megaphone as a weapon is ridiculous.
Unless you're Barrett, you could just have a gun in one arm and just like beating people around the face with a megaphone.
Yeah, it's still a megaphone. 2 arms! My trusty megaphone! What? Guard swords.
Oh.
Again, walking into people's homes, stealing their guard sources and ethers.
Sorry kids, I'm stealing away your toys.
Like the bad, bad people we are.
Daddy, the Grinch came again.
Well, why'd you leave the door open? I've told you, strangers just wander in and take our loot. Loot.
Like they call items in the house loot.
Yeah.
Like you call your TV loot.
Yeah, my TV's loot. It's totally loot.
Let's go watch a film on the loot.
Yeah, you know, they got... If I had potions and ethers and things, maybe I'd call them loot.
Medicine?
Well, not medicine, though. Yeah, I suppose like medicine's like items you get in games, isn't it? Received ether! Which they keep under the stairs.
Yeah, on the floor.
On the floor. Hey? I've not got anything interesting to say. Leave me alone.
Not to you, burglar.
Yeah, we must have a reputation this town. It's like, oh, you're the person who's been wandering through town stealing everything. Please stay at the inn. I like it how they go into the inn at the beginning when you first come to Calm, and then you can just go off and explore, or you can just follow them straight in. And if you follow them straight in, they always say, oh, you're late. You've been taking ages. And if you've been wandering around town for an hour and then come in, it's like, you're late.
Yeah.
So they'll say you're late anyway, so just keep them waiting. He's not sorry. We weren't sorry. We were finding ethers and potions in people's homes. Anyway, rant over.
And all the sauce.
Yeah, so you know what's happening with this like crisis for the planet and everything. Can you tell us what the hell's going on and what it means? So this is a good part of the game. It lets you kind of like it kind of slows down a bit, of recaps what's going on, and things will start to make a bit more sense now. So like, who's this Sephiroth guy? What's the Promised Land all about? What's going on? So Zack tells the guys the story of what happened to him about 5 years ago. I just really enjoyed the section when I first played through it. It was like reveals a lot of really heavy plot points. And it's quite a long section, and you think a section of a game like this where you can't get any weapons or items or develop your character in any way because it's a flashback, so it's not like you can pick up an item and then have it now.
Yeah, true.
It wouldn't make any sense.
Like, I'll hide this in the inn for 5 years later.
Yeah. So you don't develop your character in any way. You don't get any new items. But it's literally just the story progression. But it's interesting enough to just keep going.
Exactly 5 years, yes. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I wonder how that soldier is doing. Whoever he may be. He's got motion sickness.
He's discussing this flashback in some pretty good detail.
Yeah, it's like, so then I walked over here and then I did this. Do you know what I think is really funny? You know, like what I think's done really well in terms of like flashback sequences and stuff is the Assassin's Creed games, where it's like you're going through the computer or like the Animus, and you're syncing like the DNA memories. Then because it's a computer program and you have to have sync, it explains like you dying and reloading your checkpoint. It's like, oh, you've lost synchronization with the memory, and then you have to go back. And the way they've done that is actually quite clever. It's like that makes sense in a way. And then there's like glitches in the machine that cause stuff to happen, and that kind of makes sense. But then Prince of Persia is him telling a story, and if you don't, he goes, no, that's not what happened. So I could just imagine him telling a story. It's like a room full of like children sat around. It's like, let me tell you a story of how I became the Prince of Persia. It's like, so I ran up a wall, jumped across to a pole, I then shimmied around the pole and leapt off the pole, but then I landed on some spikes. No, that's not what happened. So I walked into this room, ran up a wall, then ran across, shimmied around to a corner, and then I went across the pole, and then I got over the spikes and ran through a corridor. Then I went to another corridor. That's the worst storytelling ever. Just get to the point. Have you played that where it like just gets to the bit when you die? Goes, no, that's not what happened, and then it reloads the checkpoint. It's like, really?
Because like grey screen, and then no, not again.
But yeah, the Assassin's Creed stuff, I think, is quite a clever way of doing it. Where it's kind of like it's a memory and a computer program simulating the memory. So,
because a lot of the time when you play it, you forget that you're actually Desmond and you're like going back into your memories. And you come back into the real world when you're Desmond. You're like, oh yeah, this isn't actually, yeah.
I really liked how they did the locations in the game. Like, I think, is it in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood? Desmond and the people you're with go to the mansion from Assassin's Creed 2, and that's where they sit at the Animus. Yeah. And then, like in Assassin's Creed Revelations, Ezio then goes to where Altair was in Assassin's Creed 1. So all kind of like they repeat locations and stuff, but at different time zones.
I think they go to Monteregione in Revelations, and then the one before that they go to the Colosseum in Rome, and then they find, no spoilers, they find the Blibs.
They find the Blibs?
Yeah, the Blibs.
That's your spoiler warning.
Yeah.
They find Blibs.
Blibs. You know, like Blibs.
I've played all the games and I have no idea what you're talking about. They find Blibs?
I'll have to tell you later.
Okay, tell me later. We don't... Spoilers on this video. Spoilers.
A game we're not...
we're not even playing, yeah. So, well, if you're watching a video from a game that came out in 1997, you wouldn't really be too worried about a game that came out a couple of years ago being spoiled. We can spoil this game, right? It's been out for years.
Well, no. I wouldn't.
I suppose that if you're watching this, though, and you hadn't played any of the games, you probably never intend on playing them, because if you intended to play it, you just go and play it. Unless you're watching this for a guide, you're stuck. And you're like, how do you do that bit?
Like, how do I press A on to move the text along?
For this scene, yeah. There's other bits, like you might want to find out how to do certain bits.
True.
So...
And plus
we hope you found this helpful. And not in any way patronising. Press X to continue. To be fair, if you didn't need to be told to press like a button, or if you didn't need to be told to press a button to go through text, I think the rest of the game is going to go completely over your head in terms of equipping materia and stuff.
Yeah, or even up to this bit.
Oh, wait a minute. This is quite good. It kind of reminds you you're like telling a story, and this isn't actually happening right now. Sephiroth's mother. That damn headless book.
But then again, this game only recently came out on Steam a few months ago.
Yeah.
So there could be people replaying it to memorise.
That's good.
A memory.
To remember the memory.
Yes.
What?
To remember the blib of the memory.
The blib of the memory. This is like another location of the game, isn't it? Nibelheim. It's pretty cool because you're there in the flashback, and then eventually you'll get there in the real game as well and get to explore present day Nibelheim. And you may recognise the well, which is where Zack and Ares made their promise when they were little.
Oh yeah, with the like chibi Zack and Ares.
Yeah, chibi.
Yeah, like chibi Zack and Ares. You know when they cartoons for anime. Okay.
Oh right, I think I mean yeah.
You have no idea what I mean, do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. They asked me to explain it. There was some anime or manga, I think, of Final Fantasy, but it's like really cartoony.
Oh, really?
And it's kind of like characters of like small bodies, big heads, and like loads of chocobos everywhere. It's like chocobos. And it's just like, I don't think it's like very serious. So it's not like Final Fantasy is normally quite a cool game, but like the animes are kind of just a bit kiddie, to be honest. From what I've seen, anyway. I've only seen like pictures of them and stuff. I've never actually watched any, so I might be mistaken.
Yeah, those two scenes may have been like the only kid scenes. The rest of it was like a gore fest.
And I'll never know unless I watch it. Sandan. That's Aries martial arts instructor. Obviously she has all the punching attacks. Now, I think in this bit of the game it's best just to go straight to the next bit, because there's no point exploring and looking for items, because this is a flashback. So you're not going to get any items or anything, so just keep progressing the story. It's good that it's an interactive flashback. It's not like it's just one massive cutscene of you sat there going X, 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 X. For the love of God, this is really long. You actually get to walk around, talk to people, figure out what's going on.
And then I ran around in circles for 5 minutes and then talked to the guard over there. He then said he had a great day. Then I ran into the inn, talked to Sephiroth, and we continued the story.
God damn it, I just get to the point. What happened at Nibelheim? Well, then I walked into a shop and I was going to buy something, but I decided not to. And then I walked into a cupboard for a little bit and I didn't realise that wasn't the door. And then I walked in through the door. What? This is no relevance to the story. This memory is ridiculous. I do remember somebody once actually that used to tell me stories about stuff, like if he played a game, he would say, "Oh, have you played this game?" I was like, "No, I've not played that before." And he's like, "Oh, it's really good. I played it last night, and I went to this cave, and then in the cave there's a chest, but I couldn't open the chest, so I needed to get a key. So I then went back to the town, and then I spoke to this person in the town, and they had the key, but they wouldn't give me the key unless I did something for them. So then when I was like, I don't need to know all this. It's fine. Just tell me you liked the game, you thought the game was good. I mean, if you like a game, you maybe tell them about features of the game, like, oh, there's a really good battle system, or oh, you know, the limit breaks are good, or whatever. But you don't need to talk through like how you played the level in that much detail, and you should do that all the time. It's like,
oh no.
That's someone I used to work with years ago.
Because that game system sounded like Darksiders. Like, you'll have a main objective to get to, like at the end of the few levels or so, and to get that you need to do several different things, and to do those things you need to clear like certain levels and get keys for those levels, and it's a great game, but it's just predictable, the story.
I think it's quite funny things like Skyrim and Oblivion and stuff like that, and Fallout, where you have objectives, and while you're trying to complete an objective you then get like 5 new ones for different missions. It's like, stop distracting me, I'm doing this very important. Oh, that's shiny. And it's just like you have a mission to do and you're just constantly being distracted by other quests. It's like you end up going back to it, like, oh yeah, I promised that person I'd find their dad like months ago. I've just been wandering the catacombs of the underground fighting giant ants as a distraction from a different mission.
I do remember that bit actually. It was like a little kid locked in a toilet.
There's things where you say, oh, I'll hide in here until you get back, and you leave him in there, and on the way to go fight the ants you might see someone else like, you've got to help me, there's a town full of slaves and they're killing us. Like, oh okay, yeah, I'll go help you. And then like ages later, after like 3 other questions, like, oh, that kid's still in the toilet thing. Shit, I better go back and help him. Oh no, the bridge is broken. So that was a weird little cutscene, because all like the rest of it was all like, looks like it was a proper cutscene, and then they kind of just stuck the blocky characters over the top. It's like,
yeah,
they would have died. Just saying, would have died. Oh, there's another one of the 2 Shinra guards and Sephiroth. So the other guy must have died, I guess. They didn't seem too bothered about him dying. Yeah, there seems to be a person missing. Yeah, we're not going to look for him, let's just go. He's as good as dead. Never mind. So that party really should be 4 people then, if you got into battle. But if you get into battle, it's just Zack and Sephiroth, isn't it? Battling.
I guess Ares doesn't know how to fight yet, does he?
I guess she's kind of training, isn't she? She's kind of a martial arts instructor.
Well, the guard, I guess. The
A
guard could help.
mysteriously coloured cave. Yes, generic guard B will be able to help. He has a gun.
But can't use it.
You might be able to. You don't know that.
You just told me
Very
so
well
Zack and
trained
Sephiroth
guard.
in fights.
Oh, looks like there's a battle that I didn't let out.
Yeah.
Let's just have a look at it just to demonstrate how awesome Sephiroth is, though.
This is how you fight.
Quake 3 on everyone. Look at Zack, got 140 HP. Everybody's dead. That's it.
Didn't you realise his sword was that long?
Yes, huge, isn't it? Massive sword.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I thought I'd cut out all the battles, but it's nice to see a demonstration of Sephiroth's power. So we can leave it in there for you. That's a freebie on us.
Is it though?
So this is quite cool. Actually, we did say about how you can't like leave an item somewhere, and they're like, I put this page in here. It'll be here in 5 years. But in this bit, they talk about a Mako fountain, and it's Mako in its liquid form. It said if Mako is left alone in a natural state for a long time, it'll turn into materia. If you come here in 5 years' time, you go to this part of the game, present day, and there's materia there. So there is an element of that. But obviously that happens regardless. It's not like you have to go there and find it.
Yeah.
It's part of the story that makes you do it. I think it's funny, the materia that Zack Scott is like, oh, I'm really excited about using the new materia they got me. And it's preemptive materia. That's it. It's like, oh, that means when you get in battles, you're more likely to have the first go. Great. Thanks for that, Shinra.
And you gave him Quake 3.
What's that? Why is it when you use materia, you can also use magic? What does that mean? Like, using materia is using magic? What does that...
Yeah.
That is a silly question. So why is it when you equipped magic, you can use it? I really don't understand
Perhaps
that question.
they're trying to differentiate the difference between materia, like preemptive, and magic, like...
Yeah, so it's materia
Quake and
in it.
Spark.
Yeah, materia as a thing is the ability to use the knowledge of the ancients, and in some instances that's magic. Magic's a mysterious power. What?
I'm just going to wash my hands in this Mako.
Shouldn't really be called magic. It's unscientific. He's an angry man. Wonder which scientist he's talking about there. Oh, he's probably about to tell us. Sorry, I should have. I'll just shut up.
Oh.
Sorry, he's talking about Hojo.
The only scientist.
There's Professor Cast as well, isn't there?
Oh, true.
Knowledge of the ancients. If you think about what the live stream is, or what Mako is, it's all kind of like Mako energy is essentially like life force, or like people's memories and spirits and stuff.
Yeah.
And when it solidifies, you can use it to do things that they were able to do. And then obviously like Shinra using the energy to, like, as like a form of electricity, aren't they, to power things. So it's kind of like
they're fueling their machines with people.
Yeah,
In a
pretty much
sense.
all their souls.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, this TV needs more soul power. It's kind of quite dark if you think about it.
Yeah, especially like
they're
that.
using people's souls to power cities and stuff. In a sense. I think it's all explained quite well later on in the game when you meet Bugenhagen.
Yeah.
And he talks about how the live stream works and what Shinra are doing and why that's going to destroy the planet. Because there's a lot of things like people saying, oh, you know, using all the Mako energy, that's going to destroy the planet. Isn't it? Obviously. I mean, it goes into more detail as to why and what that actually means. Yes, Fairies will stay outside with generic
guard
guard B. While Zach will go in here. And, explore. I never really understood this bit. There's a bit here where it ends a bit abruptly and then you just wake up back in the hotel the next morning. Well, we'll see it now anyway. It's kind of like, why? What happened?
Well, hang on. Why didn't Zach follow Sephiroth and just go along the normal, like, path?
Yeah, no, I think Sephiroth has already climbed down there before he got in.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Why would they make a reactor where you've got to climb across, like, precarious pipes above
I-
a 100-foot fall?
I don't know. It does seem like a bit of a flawed design, I'll admit. So, should we put an elevator in or some steps? Nah, just put a chain. chuck a chain down there and I'll climb.
Just put a chain.
But Sarah isn't there against help and say, shut up! I cast fire on you!
Sound like really angry workers.
We might be like, works for Shinra, so probably a dick. Most people that work for Shinra are dicks. Close the valve. And use the generic fixing motion. That'll fix it. So, I'm a bit confused as to what the problem was around here. There's there's lots of monsters appearing in the area, which is why they went down there. And they go here and there's a valve broken in this machine, which is somehow responsible for the monsters turning up around the local area.
Oh.
And then you look in, and there's like weird monsters in here, but then you just kind of wake up back at the hotel and you don't really do anything about it. It's kind of like, isn't this like a massive revelation that like Shinra are making monsters?
Yeah.
Shouldn't that make you turn on Shinra like now? You put
Something else
something
into
else
it.
in there. So he's like, it's not very well explained, I don't think.
But Sephiroth, it only says level 5.
Look through the window. That's really annoying because you're there phrase going, why can't I look through the window and pressing the button? You have to talk to him again and then he tells you to look through the window.
Oh.
There you go, some sort of weird monster.
It's happy now.
What is it? Yeah. And he is a monstrosity of nature. They've been exposed to a high degree of Mako, far more than you. So they're saying they're people that have been turned into monsters. Ojo produced these monsters. So Shinra make some monsters.
Don't cry, Sephiroth.
No! I think he's maybe doing like an angry pose.
Yeah.
He's just realised that he was possibly created in the same way. And now he's getting pissed off. What? Am I just one of your horrible monster experiments? Damn you, Hojo.
Sephiroth, stop! I just fixed the valve.
Okay, they fixed a valve and they're going around smacking things with your ridiculous sword. See, this is what I'm talking about? Watch this bit. There's one of these monster things in there. Gets released. There's a weird, monstrous...
Like, way freakier than any monster that we've seen.
And that's the end of the tale. So it's what?
What?
So did they fight the monster? Did they do anything about all of the other egg things that probably have monsters in them? Don't know. I was surprised by the fact that Shinra and Precision were not shocked or appalled, surprised. Yeah, that would seem to explain the increase in monsters. What's that? They don't really explain why are Shinra making monsters. It's like, what's it for? You know, they're making all their money from like selling Mako energy and stuff. Do they?
Just Hojo wanted research projects, I guess.
Yeah, unless they develop monsters, so that Shinra can go and destroy the monsters and then
seem
people,
good to the people. Yeah,
and let people think they need them. Then it's like, oh, we can't get rid of Shinra. They deal with all these monsters. It's like they're making the monsters. Open your eyes to the truth. Sephiroth confronted himself. What on earth does that mean? The biggest building in Nibelheim. The Shinra Mansion.
Till they were turned into monsters.
Monster, monster, monster. Let's go see what he's doing. He's going batshit crazy.
Don't worry,
What about that mincy pose again? He's like, don't worry, I'll take a look.
Bet he's just getting changed or something.
Again, no point really exploring at this stage because you can explore it when you actually appear here. Have a look around when you're actually in their present day. No sign of Sephiroth, but he went into that room. No, the other room. That room.
Which room?
In the
this room?
through the door.
Oh.
There you go. And then, I wonder where he's gone. Maybe this patch of wall that looks different to the rest of the patch of wall. It's a door! This bit's pretty cool. I do like this area. Because you come here later, and you go in here a few times. It's kind of quite a significant. The mansion has quite a significant role to play as a location in the game, I think.
Yeah.
It houses many secrets, dark secrets, like that door that leads to something. Who knows what could be in there?
Is it a blib?
Could very well be a blib. So here, an organism that was apparently dead was found. 2,000-year-old geological stratum. And so Genova was dead when they found it, and yet it's now multiple forms and different things. I think it's just some sort of weird.
And Genova's an ancient.
Is it though? I don't think it is. I think it's the thing that came along and killed all the ancients
2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Ooh.
A calamity from the skies, they called it. Do you know what they could do? They could make a game of like Final Fantasy VII, like 2,000 years ago, like when Genova first arrives. So you could have like you could be.
Yeah, but then you'd know the end of the story.
Yeah, but it would be like they did Crisis Core, didn't they? Which is like up until the beginning of this game, which is pretty cool. Why did you turn anything? Why did you die? Rachel!
But his name's Professor Gas.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Wrong franchise. Professor Gas!
That doesn't really have the same feel, does it?
No, not really. Let me be alone with my thoughts and my pain. An ominous looking lab where nothing sinister happens. So this is kind of like Sephiroth going.
It's gonna
nuts,
need a montage. Montage.
You read your books in a montage. Reading each book would take too long, so we show you reading lots at once. Big piles of books indicate that you read them. Reading lots of books at once. Oh, and this is the ominous Sephiroth music, which means shit just got real.
Oh, that was a good dream.
Why are they now okay to sleep in the Shinra mansion? Why did they stay at the inn before?
Yeah.
If he was okay to stay in there, why didn't they just sleep there the first time? Why do they pay to sleep in the inn? If they're from Shinra and there's an empty Shinra mansion with many beds.
Well, they say they just called it the Shinra mansion because Shinra stayed there.
Oh, maybe they. I presume they own it though. They must own it.
Well, wouldn't you then presume that they own all the towns and buildings?
I don't know.
Like the Bone Desert, it's completely empty. Shinra owns that, plants the flag.
I don't know. I just think it's weird that they could have stayed in the mansion in the first place and they stayed at the hotel first. You know, that's a bit odd. Oh, Sephiroth's going mad. Mad, I tell you. Have you really read all of these books?
Yes. It only took about 2 seconds in a montage.
So the lesson to learn from this is if you read lots and lots of books, you go mental. So just watch videos on YouTube instead. Don't read lots and lots of books in a library by yourself. You'll go mad, like he has. Unless they have lots of pictures in them.
Or if they're pop-up books.
Pop-up books are good. Or comics or something. I will accept it if you read them on a Kindle.
I won't know.
No. Fear his wrath.
Fear my golden-fisted wrath.
Yeah, so he talks about the disaster that struck the planet, which is... So the ancestors, like the normal humans, hid, and then the Cetra were all sacrificed and killed. So you could have a game where you played as some different characters that were ancients or Cetra, and there could be a whole different plot that is unrevealed. And you could do loads of different stuff, and it could all end with like Genova coming to Earth, and then having to prepare for the calamity from the skies. And then at the end, the ancient or the Cetra sacrifice themselves to destroy Genova and stop it from killing everyone else in the world. Because it says like they sacrifice themselves to save everyone. So maybe like that's like at the end of the game, it could be the Cetra like using their powers to stop Genova, but it results in them all getting destroyed as well and returning to the planet.
Although you could have been one of the ancient like humans, and all your friends are like Cetra, possibly.
And the thing as well, because the Cetra all have these abilities, the levelling up system and materia wouldn't be a thing because you wouldn't need materia because they would be Cetra, so they would have all those powers already, and then like they would all have different powers, and when they die, they return to the planet, and then they turn into that materia, and then so you could have different skills of different characters.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's an interesting idea. Just pitching here.
But then you'd have one person with Knights of the Round,
yeah,
who'd beat everyone.
Summoner. Then if he were killed, he would turn into Knights of the Round materia, and then someone else could use it.
Bryce went crazy and went to the cave, killed himself.
The possibilities are endless. Because it's 2,000 years ago, so you could think of all the different locations in the game, and like the whole like landscape would be different, and some of those the towns and stuff wouldn't exist. But like, I suppose like one of the main points of the game would be like the city of the ancients, which you go to later, and that would be like a bustling city with loads of people in it and stuff.
Yeah, true.
So, just thinking I did. Oh, do you know one thing I thought would be really cool, which we'll talk about in the next video.